Hello, everyone. This is Neal Damiano from Top 10 Films, and I hope everyone is doing well in this crazy time we're living in right now. I hope everyone's doing the proper precautions for this, and hopefully we'll get through this. But I'm doing this video today because my friends over at Best Video and Cultural Center had reached out to me and asked me to participate in an experiment they're doing where they're having local artists and personalities in Connecticut record a video pretty much expressing their one of their favorite films and what it meant to them. So, anything to help them out, I said, sure, sounds like a fun thing. So, my film that I chose is labeled a teen comedy. It came out in 1983, and it was directed by Martha Coolidge, who's a local New Haven resident. She moved out to California years later, but she's originally from New Haven. And the film is called Valley Girl. And I remember seeing it as a kid in 1983. I was very young, not even a teenager yet. And it always came on the movie channel, and I remember watching it all the time when it came on. And there was something about the film that I was just transfixed with. It starred Nicolas Cage in his first leading role, and he plays kind of this punk rocker guy who falls for a girl from the valley named Julie. And it's kind of a modern day Romeo and Juliet style plot. But what really spoke to me about the film and the core message of the film is that Nick Cage's character was 100% himself. And in times today, it's hard to be yourself, but that's the main message of the film, is just try to be yourself. I mean, we're all creative, we're all unique in our own way, and even at that young age, I was able to pick up on the fact that his character, Randy, was just completely himself. He didn't care about what people thought about him. He just did his thing. And another thing about the movie is that at that time, it was the first film I'd seen that had incorporated the music I was listening to in the film. It has a very new wave MTV soundtrack with a lot of the new wave bands that were out back then, and that, well, I just fell in love with that also. All those bands I was listening to at that time, so, and still today. But the film still speaks to me today. I still love it. The replay value is fantastic on it, and just the core main message, which everybody can learn from, is just man, be yourself. Life is short. Just be what you want to be and who you want to be, and don't worry so much about what other people think and how they're going to perceive you, because it's not going to make a difference. It's not going to make you happy. Only yourself is going to make you happy. And Martha Coolidge was able to relay that message in a very fun, energetic, 80s comedic way. There's comedic elements to the film, but there's also a drama and a love story too incorporated in it. And I don't know the stats. I know it did well at the box office, and it was also a video rental favorite. But I think it's considered a cult classic now. But I always recommend it to people who haven't seen it or never heard of it. Some fun facts about the film. Tom Cruise originally auditioned for the role of Randy, which I think the film would have went in a completely other way. Absolutely. The quirkiness of Nicolas Cage, who we've all grown to see and love, nailed that role perfectly. I can't see anybody else playing the role of Randy in that film other than Nicolas Cage. And another interesting fact is that was the first film he was billed as Nicolas Cage. As we all know, his real name is Nick Coppola. He's Francis Ford Coppola's nephew. But at the time, he didn't want to be considered for the role because of his last name, so he changed his name to Cage. And another thing, Martha Coolidge, while looking through the face shots, she didn't want a pretty boy type to play this role of Randy. She wanted someone that looked like the average guy. So when she skimmed through him, she came across Nicolas Cage's. He was the last headshot, and she's like, "This is Randy. We got to get this guy in here. This is Randy," and not knowing it was Nicholas Coppola, Francis Ford Coppola's nephew. So she just liked his look, and right when he came in and auditioned for it, she just fell in love with him. And another thing is the chemistry between him and Deborah Foreman, who plays Julie, was not really hitting it at the time of the test shoots. And later on, they ended up developing a chemistry, but it's just a thing that at first it didn't develop. So, I recommend people to watch Valley Girl. It's an 80s classic. And like I said, the core message is it just instills the belief of believing in yourself 100% and just being who you are 100% no matter what. So I want to thank Hank at Best Video for reaching out to me, and it was a pleasure to do this. And everybody, please be careful and cautious in these troubling times. Thanks again. Take care.